Hey, good evening, everyone. It's your boy DK Bones here, talking about this article from comicbookmovie.com, talking about the Thunderbolts. I guess it surpassed $300 million worldwide this past weekend. Uh, and then they're talking about how it stacked up against uh, the new Captain America movie that came out this past year. So let's get in the article, and then we'll make some comments about it. In its third week, Thunderbolts has surpassed 300 million worldwide. The Marvel film has produced on a 100 million budget with an additional 100 million allocated for marketing. Just is pretty crazy because if it's making 300 million, the studio only gets back maybe 60 or 50% of that money. So basically, they're only getting 150 back or a little bit more, and you already spent close to 300 million. So you need to make at least 600 million, 700 million to actually make some kind of good profit from it. Closing out the third week of release, Marvel's Thunderbolts has officially grossed over 300 million at worldwide box office. The new Avengers added 16.5 million domestically and 15.7 million for international territories, to bring in worldwide gross to 325.7 million. Shows on X dropped from first to third. I believe the new Final Destination was first, and Sinners came in second. But this movie's probably not going to make any more money because you got Lilo and Stitch coming out this weekend, Mission Impossible coming out, and they're probably going to take over a bunch of those theaters. So its run is probably worn out. The article further goes on to talk about the problem here is that the film carries a hefty 180 million production budget. As an estimate, 100. We already talked about that. I don't know why they had to go back over that again. The revenue split between the movies, theaters, and studios is complex and dynamic process that isn't a fixed percentage. Like I said, it said that 60% upwards or more acknowledge that the studio significant investment in production and marketing. So they're not going to make a lot of money back on it. Actually, they're going to lose money on it. However, the cinematic spotlight on the film begins to dim with the passage of time, and box office draw naturally tapers off. The revenue gradually swings, granting theaters a progressively larger slice of remaining pie. Let's see what else they have to say. With Thunderbolts carrying 280 million costs of Marvel Studio, it needs to reach somewhere, as I said, 500 to 560 million to break even. But more likely, you want to make like 600 million or 700 million to make some kind of profit off of this movie. They started comparing this to Captain America. On its third week, Captain America was sitting at 163 million, 0.6, and Thunderbolts is at 155.4 million domestically. So it's behind Captain America, which I would have to say for the competition Captain America had, it should have made a lot more money than Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts had competition with Sinners and some other few movies that were competing with it. Captain America really didn't have anything to compete with. I think the only thing that came out a couple weeks later was Snow White. So in that aspect, I think it's probably a better movie. But with all these movies coming out in the summertime, I think if Thunderbolts would have came out when Captain America came out, it probably made more money. What else does it have to say? Thunderbolts has a vastly superior review scores. I guess a lot of people like the movie. Has an 88% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, while Brave New World had 47%. Yeah, I heard a couple of friends told me that it was a good movie, but when the time it came out wasn't a good time for Marvel to push this movie. They probably should have put it out back in March, and then maybe Captain America now. they probably made a better profit, but they weren't thinking that. They thought that Captain America had, since the name, had more profitability to make money on. But just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm not going to go see this movie. I'll wait for it to come out on streaming. I don't want to. To me, I don't want to waste my money on seeing anything Marvel in the theaters right now. I possibly might go see Fantastic Four when it comes out, but I'm not a big Pedro Pascal fan. I also have a video I'm going to do on the. I guess they're pushing something out for the new with the Silver Surfer. They got something online for it. But anyways, if you liked the video, hit the like button, share, make a comment. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike or make a comment. Let me know, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.